Hey, this is Erica Famasili, and welcome to the Happiness Recipe, where top experts are revealing their secret ingredients so you can create your own recipe for happiness. And today's vital ingredient is, wait for it, it's conquering the lack of motivation pattern. Oh, just a breath of fresh air, right? Oh, come on, guys. How much of that steals our happiness? We get fired up, and it's usually around our health and happiness. Where we get so fired up, we get gun ho about things, and then after a little while, we just fall back into this habit, this pattern where we fall off. And so that is where we are crushing it today. We are talking about just that pattern and how to transform that with expert Tiffanay Florentine. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I am honored to be here and fired up to share the
Woo.
things that I've studied and the things that are tried and true that have worked for me for years after struggling for literally decades.
Ooh, yes, yes, we are going to get into that, you guys. So if you are dealing with that pattern, you know exactly what we're talking about. Please stay tuned. I always like to say, pen, I know it's old school, but get a pen and paper, you guys. There's nothing like just embracing and absorbing information by writing it down. So have your notepad handy. And I'm going to get into this lovely's bio here. This is Tiffanay, a health and happiness productivity hacker. Ooh, like that one. She empowers women to put themselves first, to show up at their best by guiding them through a 15-minute per day life changing mind and body system. Just 15 minutes. I'm so curious about this one. So curious. Okay. Tiffanay has danced through a plethora of life experiences, including traumatic lows and joy filled highs. She's an entrepreneur, recovered management consultant, proud veteran, American Gladiators finalist, wow, and believer in you. Again, welcome, Tiffanay. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the warm welcome.
Yes, let's just jump on in. I want to know more about you, hun. Can you share a little bit more about your story and what led you to creating this Jiver lifestyle?
Yes, absolutely. Really, Jiver life is just born from my need for it. Really, like as you said, dancing from different life experiences. I struggled for decades. And the way I like to think about this is that incessant noise in your head. I call it like squirrels zipping around, like the shoulda, coulda, what ifing squirrels. I should be working out more. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have eaten that, right? So I just struggled with those little buggers for my entire life. And what happened was I looked successful. I was truthfully, I didn't feel great about myself. I carried anxiety. I felt like chubby all the time. And I just like felt closed and like anxious and didn't want to take up space in a room. So I was always dancing through that, but like I felt good overall. I just knew that there was more. But if you look at me on paper, like I was successful. I was in the military for a while, a couple different big management consulting firms, making all the money, then an entrepreneur, not American Gladiators. But here I was, like 20 pounds fluffier, not confident, and just knowing that there was more. So I was just struggling and struggling. And truth be told, if I didn't have all the life trauma that I had from childhood, from like just a turbulent household to dealing with addiction in my family, a death in my arms, trauma, as you know, like trauma stacks and stacks and stacks, and then eventually you reach a breaking point. And after an unexpected marriage implosion, quite a few years ago, like I hit that bottom, and so I brought with me all the squirrel noise, that the extra 20 fluffs and the trying so hard, all the diets, all the workouts, that frustration. And I hit this wall when I hit another bucket of trauma. And that truly just led me to dig in and build my own happiness recipe. I mean, like, imagine just on the floor, in the movies when you hit your breaking point, on the floor in the fetal position, like,
Yep.
that's where the magic happens, right? That's when you're like, I'm going to change my damn life. So I was in a rough spot, and I literally, my superpower is not being some expert on all the things. My superpower is being a tenacious learner. And so I went on and I learned all the things. I'm like, people study happiness. So I studied happiness, motivation, meditation, spirituality. And I would read all these books from like Brene Brown, Tony Robbins, Petra, and like all these big, powerful people and gurus, but I didn't really know how to bring it to action. So I started to build a framework with workouts and meditations and mindset work, journaling. So I built the recipe for me, a 15-minute per day system. And at the time I was running a gym on the west side of Chicago. So I started sharing it with my population. So we stopped working on just our bodies, but we started working on our minds. So this work, I shared it with hundreds of people across all walks of life, all different shapes and sizes. It just pressure tested the system, and I've been doing it for years, and I'm in the best mental, emotional, and spiritual and physical shape of my life. So it's really, I built it for me, and now it's like, truthfully, I get the chills thinking about it. I stand back and I know I was put on this earth to get this in as many hands as possible. It's the most simplistic yet profound thing you can do. And I honor what you are doing, because you're saying find your recipe. And I built a system which allows people to find their recipe within it. It's not some plan that's structured. It's your plan. So you have to find what works for you. So that's truth. That's my story. And I'm just on a mission to empower people with the magical tools that I found.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's
Thank you.
beautiful. I love hearing your background. I love creating that connection with you. I know all of the viewers right now were feeling like they're relating. We all have these, each and every one of us, we have a wild story. And it all looks different, every shade and color and rainbow out there. It's just like crazy. But it's ours, right? It's ours, and a lot of it is alike at the same time. So when you talk about fetal position, the breakdown where you're just like, you hit that rock bottom, you can't go any further down.
Mm-hmm.
We've been there, right? Everyone's like,
Yeah.
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 That's that moment, but also those beautiful moments we're talking about right now, where you've had maybe the last damn time where you suffer from that motivation high and then low. You get all excited and then you go and then you just fall back and you feel like a failure, right?
Totally.
You
Mm-hmm.
feel like you're just like a loser now and you can't do it and you're in that rut again or whatever. That's that fetal position we're talking about. Not for everyone, but you could be on a couch or whatever. But that's that position where you're just like, oh my gosh, I did it again. I'm here again. Let's
Yeah.
break through that. And I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
talk a little bit more, Tiff, about is Tiff okay? I just called
Yeah,
you
that's
Tiff.
fine. It
Okay.
happens immediately. I totally love it. It's so funny how
Hey,
fast it
Tiff.
happens. Do you have a nickname I should know about? Okay, good.
I love it. I love it, you guys. Okay, so talk to me more about you find this system and this recipe, you're implementing, and now you're sharing it with thousands of people all over the world.
Mhm.
What is that 15-minute per day? What is that lifestyle?
Yeah, totally. Can I pause you for 1 second though? We'll put the lifestyle on pause real quick.
Okay.
I just want to commend whoever's tuning in and listening. Like, you are here and you are taking control of your life. So like, I know like that we can all connect on the feeling of frustration and feeling stuck. But the fact that you're here, you're saying, I am in control and I have an open heart and open mind. So hell yes to that. We're going to flick away the frustration squirrels. Like, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Like, they don't have a place here. So let me talk a little bit about the lifestyle, but I just wanted to commend you for being here with an open mind, which is huge. You're not saying you're stuck, right?
Mm,
So the
absolutely.
lifestyle is, what I found is, I learned this from Tony Robbins. He talks about really the recipe for any change, all the self-help things that I've seen out there. They're in really three buckets: how we use and move our body's physiology, our mind's focus, and our mind's framing, right? So physiology could be working out, belly breathing. Our mind's focus is like what we choose to focus on all day, the muck or the good stuff. And my mind's framing, the meaning I choose to give all the things, trauma, the good, the bad. Like, things don't mean anything till I assign the meaning. So our body, our focus, and our framing. So really, when I went out to create a system, I just kept thinking about these buckets, and I knew I needed some tools or levers across these buckets. So Jiver Life is built on that foundation. So we combine 15-minute per day workouts, which I call fests versus workouts because it's emotionally loaded. When you say workout, it's just gross. So it's fast, effective, safe training. So it's the most wildly effective workout you could possibly do in 15 minutes. And I've tested this for years and years. So that's a thing there. So that's the system to use and move your body. And it's for all fitness levels. And in there, your belly breathing as well. So that's the body part. And then your mind's focus and framing. We do jives instead of meditations. It's a little bit different, combines journaling, it's getting involved, the mind's focus, framing your body all at once. And so that's the crux of the system, the workouts and the meditations. And then we combine that with learning, ongoing learning, so that you're feeling progress every day. And then in addition to that, community. Like I know that all change happens with mind and body in a special container where we can share, listen, unpack. So whatever you're doing out there, I would encourage you to think about the physiology, focus, and framing. What are you doing? And that could be belly breathing and stretching today. It could happen in 2 minutes. And then think about using your mind and your body just in general all the time and having a space, people to connect with, to talk to about these things. So our lifestyle, that's really the gist of it, like the 10K, like high level view.
Love it. Okay. Full integration there, the whole mind, body, and spirit, our emotions, like it's encompassing it, all of it, because it's all interconnected, right? It's all connected. The mind, body, spirit, we're all, if one place is off, the other one is too, right? You can feel that. So I love how it's wholesome in itself. It's that complete circle system within 15 minutes. I think that's what's most motivating, that I'm ready to get down and try this, because it's 15 minutes, you guys. I mean, we kind of waste that on silly stuff throughout the day, right? So,
Totally.
what do you recommend? Is this like the first thing in the morning? Is that how it works, or what's the
Oh,
time
it's
frame?
magical. I want to speak to like the when and the how a little bit, but also speak to the frustration that
Mm.
people feel. I think what sound like you're like 15 minutes, what? We're trained to think that all of this stuff should be so hard. We should push, we should try so hard and go from 0 to 100 when really the answer is 0 to 2, 0 to 5, right? Becoming obsessed with consistency versus 0 to 100, consistent teeny steps is the unlock. Consistent, teeny, feel good steps. So we have to untrain our mind that it has to feel bad to work. The unlock of the program is that it feels good. Literally, if I can sum everything up, we are training people to do what feels good, to
Mm.
get in their feel good state every day. So you said 15 minutes in the morning and the evening. Well, what feels good? Like you do you. And if you want to do 10 minutes, if you want to do Monday through Wednesday, 15 minutes, like you do you, but consistency is always the key. It could be 5 minutes Monday through Sunday, 10 minutes Monday through Sunday. So we make a winning plan, which means, I mean, you can apply this to anything. I want to equip whoever is listening with like tangible things to get momentum. When you are thinking about a plan for you, if you're saying, oh yeah, I'm going to try to work out this, I'm going to try to meditate. I'm going to try to do 2 hours on Sunday. If you are using that dirty T word, try, like make a better damn plan. So the key is to not try, it's to make a plan that's a winning plan, we call it, where you can do for sure and not feel the squirrel noise of like, oh God, what if I don't? It should be coming, instead of focusing on motivation, where's this motivation? I'm not that motivated. Focus on inspiration. Like, does it feel good to belly breathe for 1 minute? To just stretch your arms up and like feel big and like stretch the muscles. If you can think of that and it's inspiring because the feeling that it creates in your body, great. If you're like, "Ah, I should push through that, I should be motivated to do cardio for 2 hours," that's not sticky. So feeling good and inspiration, like just like get off the resistance train and like step into your flow, like that feel good flow. So it's retraining the brain. It's not about resistance. It's about doing what feels good. So I think that's the biggest thing that like blows people's minds. Like I have to try to do the keto diet and try to fast for 3 weeks. And like lift weights and then run and then I get stressed thinking about that.
I know, right? And that falls, I'm like, yes, like I hear you. You know, it's this falls in perfectly into the problem is that
Hmm.
we think of kind of that all or nothing, right? And we're like, oh, we got to go all in. We're going to go 0 to 100. We're about to do this brand new lifestyle of eating this way, exercising this way. And it's so massive. It sounds beautiful, but it's huge and it isn't sticking. This is what's creating a lot of the failure patterns is because we're trying to
Hmm.
go for something so big that is so foreign to our body, our minds, everything way out there. And we kind of eventually we get hicked up on the hiccups, right? We do. We just like, all right, we kind of stop and there's that pattern going. But what you're saying right now, we're retraining the mind to go after the baby steps, the small things, right? The 1 minute belly breathing instead of I'm going to do this all my life. I'm going to do this for 1 minute today and going after the things that are inspiring you versus like charging you up in that motivation,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big part of the problem is like pushing, it must be hard. Thinking 0 to 100 is really sexy when what's sexy is really 0 to 2. Baby steps. You can fall in love with baby steps. Those that baby step every day adds up to massive change. Like go read Atomic Habits. Like all of the science is in there. Like teeny steps add up to the big things. And we are our daily habits. So you are better off waking up every day and doing 10 squats, 20 squats every day versus trying to work out for 6 hours on a Sunday, right? Those incremental steps every day. And a lot of, you think about the problem being that like push mentality, 0 to 100, that's a big, big thing. I used to think too, God, I'm not very motivated. Maybe I don't have it. Like I'm lazy. Like, I just don't know what to do. Like I used to think all these things. I used to think it was about me and I failed when really it was just about I didn't have the right plan that empowered me to connect to me. So people tend to, when they think about health and wellness, they think about finding this magical plan that's over there. I have to combine. I actually saw a diet online that combined carb cycling, keto, I think some sort of juicing and fasting, like all in one. I think it was like feeding into that, like there was a magical answer,
Yeah.
right? So we think that the plan is like, it's got to be like really hard and technical and out here. And we give the plan our power. Because we say, this plan, I'm going to try it. I tried all the things, but nothing worked for me. It is the complete disconnection from self. So really the winning plan is connecting to self, saying what feels good. I keep my power. I don't hand my damn power over to the keto diet, right? Like I keep my power and my connection. That is the dance to sustainability, these incremental gains. So I see that the push mentality, I see giving away the power to this external plan. And I also see like people do have limited time. That's like one of the number one reasons people don't take care of their mind and body. They say, oh, I don't have time. I actually don't think that's that accurate. Like I'm saying 15 minutes, maybe you could find 30 minutes. Like I think the time is there, but I think it's a quick thing to say, I don't have time. What I really think, if you dig in more, is I have limited time and I don't know where to put my damn time in a way that's highly effective. Right? I don't know where to start. If I have 15 minutes a day, then what do I do that's even worth it? Right? So that's really our sweet spot is if you have 15 minutes, we're going to tell you what to do and you're also going to get to tailor it to you within the 15 minutes. So again, it's like we're just set up to fail, right? Because our mind is like wired to find what's wrong. We got our squirrel zipping around. I believe it's like 47% of our minds on average are wandering to the past or the future. So we're hardwired to focus on, what if I eat that? What if I never lose weight? I should have done that. So squirrel zipping, all of the plans out there that say it should be hard and we have limited time. I get why you're stuck,
Yep.
right? I get why you're here. You're like, I can't stick to something. Yes, you can.
Yes, I love it. You can, you can. So we're debunking, we're just crushing out these programs left and right. That one about we don't have enough time. I see that one come up time and time again. It's one I used
Mhm.
all the time. It was like, I don't have enough time to do that, right? I don't have enough time. But really, we do. We really, really do. We all have the 24 hours in a day. We've all kind of heard that, right? We do. And it's the way that if we can frame our mindset around, I've got enough, or I've got some, or if I can find it,
Yeah,
right? You go on into that instead of just, I don't know, I can't fit it in, which we just do unconsciously, checking that bad boy right at the gate. Like, you know what? Maybe I do. I can do it this time. And ideas will just start to come to you. But if you kind of look at it differently, is what Tiff is saying here, you'll begin to see how you'll speak differently and it'll become differently in your life just by
totally.
changing that dialogue, right?
Yeah, and the way I frame it as well, it's like it's not about like doing what's right for my mind and my body and like longevity and living till I'm 110. That's lovely, but that's another outcome. I do it every day because it's like putting on my outfit for my inners. Because
Mm.
I am in charge of my emotional state, and when I use my body and I train my mind's focus and my mind's framing, I can then train myself to love myself, flick away the squirrels, come to the present moment, and then I can love others. So people say, "Oh, it's selfish to like do that, like take the time for yourself." Like, no. Taking time for you is the most damn selfless thing you can possibly do. So I start to love myself more, I treat myself better, and I carry this aura, this vibe, and I share that with everyone around me. You deserve to feel good, and the people around you deserve to feel you feeling good. So it's really our bullseye every day is shifting up the emotional scale, just feeling good, working the levers to feel good, and it happens to be like working out, using your body, and meditation, because these are the levers grounded in science to feel good.
Yes. I could see that. I could see a lot of people, all of our kind of programs, these are ones I've had too, you guys, is like, you're a mom, you're an employee, right? You're an aunt, you're all these different things, and then you automatically think, I need to serve, I need to be giving to others, I need to do all this, and then I'll get, right? We have this kind of attitude and these beliefs that we have to give and then we receive, that we had to do all this and then receive. But ultimately we're pouring from an empty cup, right? Eventually we're just giving so much of ourselves and we're really just giving crappy energy, crappy vibes. We have short tempers, right? I know, like sometimes I'll snap if I'm tired. I'll snap at my kid, and it's like, oh, okay, wait, like mama take care of herself. And that's what we want you guys to hear. It's the most selfless thing. If you get up, and I love how you said put on the outfit for the inner. I've never heard that. I love that. Get dressed inside. You make up this beautiful thing every day, dress up the inside, and that way you are really giving, you are really serving, you are being the best employee, wife, husband, father, mother, whatever. You're putting that out there when you dress up the inside like you did your outside. I think that is beautifully said. Thank
And
you.
I know the viewers get that. That's why they're here. But how to get there,
Yep.
how to put yourself first, how to feel good. Like that is a recipe, and you are the designer, and all these tools are going to help you. I will say, I'll leave you with this bullseye that we have. You can, maybe it will jive with you, maybe it'll feel authentic, maybe you'll throw it out the window, but the crux of our program, we have really three values. I call the Jiver mantra. You can adopt them as you want, but this is really our guiding light, our bullseye in life, not just with this work, but with everything, is that number one, our Jiver mantra is I am first. My feel good state, I am first, period, because what we just talked about, so I can love myself, give to this world. Number two, I am kind to myself, right? Recognizing the more we tune in at these squirrels putting ourselves down, like we can't show up unless we rein those little buggers in and start being conscious of how we're treating ourselves. So striving to treat ourselves better. And three, I love my decisions. Period. So if I decide to work out, I decide to eat the cake. If I don't decide to do those things, my job is to just tune in and say, if I do that, will I love that? If I hang out with that person, if I do this, like just being deliberate. So those three things I believe help you craft and help you craft a plan and drive towards any change you want in your life.
Consistently. Yes. So tying this full circle, you guys, did you have your pen? Hope you're having your pen because there's so much. I'm like, wait, hold that. This is good. Replay. Because all these little nuggets of gold right here are training your mind to break that old pattern of start and stop and be consistent in the decisions you're making. I mean, if you decide right now, I'm going to love the decision I'm going to make, or you make the decision upon do you love it or not, you're going to probably stick with it a lot longer than you think versus something we just mindlessly just kind of jumped into, right? So I love that other piece of gold right there, that asking, could I love this decision? You know?
Yeah. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
can never fail again. The unlock to never failing is asking yourself, do I want to do that workout? Here's the coolest part is that I get the chills thinking about like we know what's right for ourselves. We've been trained to think it's out there. So when I start to work on my mind and body connection and I say, do I want that cake? Right? Chances are I'm probably going to, mine is pizza. Like, do I want that pizza? Like, I probably want that pizza. Do I want the entire pizza? No. Like, deep down, I know the answer. I do want one or two slices. I'll feel great about that after. I'll love my decision. But if I eat the whole thing, I'll feel terrible and I'll beat myself up. Those squirrels will come in, and then I'm just like, I step from this feel good flow to the resistance highway, right? The what ifing and the shoulding, right? So that's really, really key, is to think about it's as you lean into the program more and more, you start to trust yourself, and that when you tune in, the right decision is there. Your truth will guide you. It's so powerful, and you start to see it too. Like I actually have this woman that's been in my program for 2.5 months now, has not missed a single day. I said, your homework is to miss a day. You need to just miss a day. Because I wanted her to feel that it's part of her identity. When you do these small steps every day, you start to trust yourself. You say, I'm a jiver. I got this. I take care of myself. So when I miss a day because I decide sleep was better for me, that felt better, I feel good, I love that decision, I trust that I come back to the program. I trust that I come back to the work. So it's really cool when you see people just trust that it's part of them, part of their identity, and they don't have to push for anything. They know that that connection will guide them to the right decision.
Yeah, I love that. It takes the efforting out of the picture, the resistance out of the picture. And we can all think of things that we decided to do, and it's been a part of our lives for years. There's routines we have that are just so natural to us. We don't even think about it. It's autopilot because it just works well with us. We fell in love with that decision. It felt really good. We made it for ourselves, and bam, it's just a part of us. It's just a part of our wiring. This
Absolutely.
leads me into success stories. I want to hear some
Oof.
miracle stories. One or
Oh, yes.
two, just lay it on me. I want to hear some beautiful stories where you took someone from A to Z.
Yes, absolutely. Goodness, one of my favorites is my good friend now, Amelia. I believe she's 55. She's a grandma, a mom, and she's also a busy business professional. When I first met her, all the standards, like I've tried all the things, like nothing's gonna work, I'm just stuck, but I want to change, right? And also like I'm out of time, like my mind's scattered, like all of the things. And she also was dealing with chronic pain, some turbulence in relationships, like frustration, practicing really like that difference between practicing patience versus like kind of the snippety snaps, I call them. So this just wasn't, she was good, but wasn't thriving, right? She was fine. But man, this woman leaned into the work every day, the best mental, emotional, physical, spiritual shape of her life. Buying the new wardrobe, self-confidence, like no chronic pain, stronger relationships with her daughter and her kids. Like I have plenty of those stories. I have people that have lost over 100 pounds from working out 15 minutes a day and actually loving it, right? People from all different walks of life. I have people from 18 up to 70, people from 100 pounds up to 350, 400, all doing the same work. will stay on the same path with their own progressions, their own jive on that path. So yeah, that's what I love about it most is we're all together on the path doing it in our own way and all making wild progress.
Okay.
So yeah.
So do you see them going through, because I'm sure we have a journey of rewiring our minds, right? So if we fall, we're in it and then off. We're in it and we're off, right? And so it's a part of our wiring, but as you connect with something that's phenomenal like this, a great system that's all encompassing, do you see their progress, like the unfolding? Could you see them going like they're struggling, right? And it's like, maybe they fall off in the beginning a whole bunch of times, or like share a little bit more of their progress.
Yeah, totally. So people definitely, so I see people stick with the plan. Like I see, like I think of my friend Amelia, right? Like she had some big life events. And when we have big life events, we want to quit, we want to walk away. Like she was buying a house and it was super stressful. Her daughter was moving across country, all the things. She maybe took a day or two off, but then you remember you have the tools and you lean in harder. So what I love, love, love most about this system is that you will fall off for a day or two, but there is just this peace that you have because you know you have the system that you can always lean on. If I feel anxious or if I'm in a pile of muck, I know that I can come and do a fest and release that anxious energy, that toxicity. I know that I can jive and journal to dance into a better feel good state. So regardless of when my people fall off for a few days, I just remind them like, hey, the days that you're too busy, that's when you really need it. And when you fall off, keep leaning into the tools. A great example was this past week with the election, the weeks leading up to it. I could feel the tension, right? Regardless of your political side, it does not matter. We're all feeling this collective trauma. And just everything that's going on in the world with COVID and Black Lives Matter, like this, again, chills. This is like a window in our lives where there's this realization that we need the work, right? It's not about longevity and living to 110. It's about feeling good today. So I'm feeling that. Like people may step away for a day, but they always come back. And I never, never reach out and like, hey, where are you? Because their priority is to feel good. So they always come back. And if somebody says they want to do something differently, I work with them to craft a better recipe for them. That rarely happens, right? So I just love knowing that you're always on the path, you're always a jiver, but maybe you'll just like take one foot off the path for a minute, but you cannot forget. Like when you start living this awake way of life connected to your body, you can't forget how good it feels. And you can't forget that the tools are at your fingertips.
This has taken a beautiful twist because when we suffer from the lack of motivation, our minds tend to go to, I just wish I was motivated all the time, right? Where it's like, I wish I could just be on it, inspired every second of the day. But really, that's not possible. Like, we need to be okay that we're going to, I hate the term, but fall off. We're going to, rest. We're going to maybe be so fired up and going for so long on something we love and then kind of stop a bit and press pause a bit, right? Just rest our bodies and mind, maybe take a detour, maybe not, and then go about it again. Like it's normal to have this beautiful flow. It's like a roller coaster of life, right? So we're going to be high. I think the main takeaway here is what I'm hearing Tiffany say as well is that let's be okay with that. Let's be okay. We'll get some more consistency in our life by doing the things we love to do and what feels good, right? And that'll straighten up a lot of it. But also be okay with that you're human and you have this beautiful flow about you that you're not always going to be 100. Like even when you get there, you're going to go back to 0. And that is beautiful in itself, right? It'll happen less, but it's also necessary.
Totally. And it comes back to your truth. Like if you are here, signed up for the summit, you know you want to feel better. And I also say this with using your body, working out in some way. Like if you sat on the couch for a week, you would be beating yourself up, mad at yourself, feeling terrible, no energy. So your body's telling you it wants something differently. Running for hours on the treadmill is pretty terrible for most humans, me included. Sitting on the couch is pretty terrible. So it's finding where you fit on that spectrum, right? So it's, if the system is easy right in front of you and you smile while you do it, chances are you'll move your body that day, 5 or 10 minutes. If the jiving feels good or meditation, you'll do it that day, 5 or 10 minutes. If you dread it, you'll never do it. So that like choice of like doing what feels good, maybe I want to sleep today because I worked out hard yesterday, it's fine. But if the system's there and it feels good, there's just no pushing and there's no worrying if I skip a day. I'm taking what I need to get to my optimal emotional state that day. If that's sitting on the couch, most of the time it's not. But if that's what it is that day, you do you.
Be okay with it.
Yeah.
Yes. I love this. Okay, speak to the person. I'm channeling some energy right now. Speak to the person that it's like, I really want to get a hold of this. I want to feel more inspired. I want to feel more motivated, but I'm scared of maybe doing this or anything else they're really excited about because I just don't want to fail again, right? They're just thinking that. Speak to that person watching you right now.
Stop trying so damn hard and do what feels good. Literally, if I were you today and I've like climbed up onto the bandwagon, fallen off the bandwagon on these like dramatic, difficult plans, like just don't even think about that puppy. If I were you and you're literally starting from nothing, maybe doing a little bit, regardless of what you're doing, get in a daily ritual that feels good. What I would say, I'm not prescribing, we're tossing it out there if it feels good to you. I want you to work on belly breathing for 1 to 2 minutes every day. Or maybe it's 3 days a week because you know you can do that for sure. And then I'm going to take this from the Abe Hicks book of knowledge. Instead of doing gratitude journaling, because sometimes it doesn't resonate with people, journaling doesn't work for me, I don't feel a shit. Fine, do a gratitude rant. Keep it simple, keep it believable. Think about what you love in your immediate vicinity. It could be your chair, it could be your pet, it could be anything. So do some belly breathing, do a gratitude rant, or some other small mind and body things. It could be 10 squats. Do something for 2 to 3 minutes, a few mornings a week. Make a winning plan and celebrate the hell out of that consistency, right? When you crush that, add on a teeny thing. That's it. Just keep adding teeny little blocks when you are ready, and celebrate the little things instead of the huge things. Because the huge things are not sustainable. The 0 to 100, that's not your jam. So number one, I commend you for being here with an open heart and open mind again. Rock out some breathing, a little bit of movement, a little gratitude rant consistently, and go from there. Then dance into all these videos for more tools, sprinkle another one in.
I love it.
And if it feels bad, know that you are on the wrong path. That's the biggest thing. If it feels bad, you are on the wrong path. Come back to what feels good.
Yes. I love that so much. These are tiny but powerful tips. Like you literally just saying one thing you're grateful for, right? Bringing in your gratitude. You don't have to journal, but just saying it is enough. It could be your breathing, and then just the breathing, the deep breathing. Could we do that? I'm such a visual person. Can you walk us through 1 minute so I can feel it? Everybody is feeling it right now. How the heck do we belly breathe for 1 minute?
Yes, absolutely. I took a little trip to Bali for a month. This helped me with a few of these cues, did a meditation workshop. So I'll walk you through that. Let's wiggle our shoulders in the back pockets. Right now, I scooted to the edge of my chair, making sure my heels are flat on the ground, knees over the heels. And from here, there might be a bend, your belly button poking out. I want you to tuck your tail feather under just a little bit, again, sitting tall. From here, if it's comfortable, let's go ahead and close your eyes. Just feel the moment sink in. Imagine there's a string just on your spine, tugging you to the ceiling, helping you sit a little bit taller. Breathe in through the nose. And breathe out with a shh sound. For as long as you can. Your timing is perfect. Shh, all the way to the end. Squeeze your belly at the bottom of the exhale and then come back up when you're ready. Breathe in again. And then make that shh, audible sound all the way out shh, to where it's empty. You can squeeze your belly at the end of the breath And then let the belly pop up on the inhale. Now take 2 to 3 more breaths on your time. Keep the sound. Feeling the sensation in your body, your shoulders soften, your face soften, the tongue falling off the roof of your mouth. When you're ready, just open up your eyes softly.
That, I mean, everyone, you would love to do that consistently because it just feels like so good. You can take the busyness from your mind, the busy energies from around, all the to-dos and the worries or whatever's going on, and focus right here in the moment. That felt good enough to where I feel like all of us are kind of saying, yeah, you know what? I could do that at least once a day, right? I could take 30, what's that, 30 seconds, a minute? That's like a minute, right? Just to breathe that powerful oxygen into every cell, bring that awareness, that mindfulness to your body. It's healing, it's nourishing, and you're creating consistency in something that is going to serve you. That, that's amazing. Okay, so now I got a good visual. Now we all got it. That's just one thing we can do right now, you guys. Just breathe. Everything will be okay. We're gonna
Totally.
start being more consistent in what we're doing. Just breathe. Be grateful about something. Oh, what else did you say? You said grateful, breathe. Was that little tip?
Just moving the body a little bit, thinking about, it's really key in our practice, like when we're thinking about feeling good. Think about all of the things we deal with, stresses of work and life in 2020, which is just,
Yeah.
it's really something. So when we
Totally.
think about all of the energy and the muck that we're all dancing through in our own way, we have this heightened energy, this anxiety, right? Like this stress that we're carrying. It is essential from a physiological perspective that we are releasing energy, because when we're dealing with these stressors, our heart rate increases. We carry this tension. We store all of that muck in our bodies. Our bodies are trying to regulate all of this energy, and it can't. Our bodies literally can't. So that's like it's dis-ease, right? Like our body is not at ease, which results in disease, dis-ease, right? So it's so key that we release energy through movement. So that may be going for a power walk outside, power walk around your house one time, walk up the stairs 2 times, but getting energy out is so key every day. So what you might do is a couple of squats. That's a good one. Any type of movement. You're like, oh, you want to do that now?
You go ahead and do that.
Any sort of movement, really.
Okay.
And that could be like if I'm starting out and I just want to get momentum with my ritual, I would literally set my alarm in the morning. Maybe I put like a Post-it on my nightstand, right, where I turn my alarm off, or maybe next to the coffee pot. That works well, because I want a habit stack. That's one from James Clear, right? I just take all the magic and just smash it.
Yeah.
So habit stacking is working another habit onto a habit that we're really damn good at. Like I am good at getting my coffee in the morning. So I'm gonna put my Post-it right next to my coffee cup that says 2 minutes of belly breathing, gratitude rant right after the breathing, and then 10 squats, or jumping jacks, or maybe it's stretching, some sort of physical movement that feels good for you.
Yeah,
I would do that.
absolutely.
Get in a few reps to release some energy. Or maybe you decide to take your coffee on your morning walk.
Yes. You guys see what this is, just magic being poured through here, because although this sounds like mind, body kind of stuff and movement, it's really, if we can focus on just loving these little bit of things here, that's going to change how we're feeling. It ripples into all areas of our life. So if we can get consistent and inspired and creating a new pattern in our life that feels good, I guarantee you, you're going to see it ripple into your work, into your relationships. You know, everything that you do, you're going to see more of that consistency, more of that come about in your life, just starting with these simple yet powerful things of addressing What would you say, dressing up the inner you, starting with putting on that and inside, you're going to see that consistent, more inspiration and motivation come about you, starting with these very small, powerful techniques.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
so much, Tiff. Thank you so much. I want to get right into the gift. You're giving a free gift. What is that about?
Totally. I am so fired up to give this gift. It's just, it's magic that's going to empower you to build your recipe, not beyond my plan. I want you to get momentum. So I'm giving away a free gift starting on January 3rd, I believe is the day, 7 days. It is a Me First challenge. 7 days, 15 minutes a day at the time that works for you. It's all about you. For 15 minutes a day, I'm going to walk you through the systems, right? Walk you through some tactical things that you can do to build your daily rituals. And we'll experiment with some. I'm not just gonna be talking at you. We're gonna be doing the belly breathing, more of that. We're gonna be moving our bodies. We're gonna be journaling. So it's really about giving you a structure and then you dancing into the tools and feeling the shift. At the end of the 7 days, you get to just rock on with these tools or join us if you're up for that.
Yes. Oh, good. So you're giving a platform. You're actually giving 7 days. Listen, you guys, this is so important because, as you know, consistency makes the pattern, makes the habit. So you're getting challenged for 7 days for free in this lifestyle, in just embodying some of the things we're talking about here and more. So you're going to be creating a foundation, a rewiring of yourself, of being consistent and not falling off the wagon as much as we used to, and joining a community of support starting January 3rd, you said?
You got it. It's called the
Ooh,
Me First Challenge.
Me First
.com.
Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And you guys have the link to that where you found this video. It's linked to that information. So jump on, registered. It's for free, January 3rd. And just come into the new year as a new you, right? A new
Yeah,
motivated
totally.
you. Ah.
Yeah, and know that after the 7 days, you're gonna walk away with your plan. A legit plan. We just made one for you right here, the belly breathing. You're gonna walk away with your plan that's stickier and feels better for you, more robust. So that's the goal.
Mm. That's such a beautiful gift. Thank you. Thank you, Tiffany, for the gift, for your time, for your wisdom, your high energy. A lot of transformation happened here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you. This is an honor to be with you, to be with your audience, and thank you for bringing all this magic together with all of these happiness experts. I honor you and your work and everyone out there that's about feeling good and showing up as their best selves. Hell yes to that.
Yes, woo! If you guys love this powerhouse and this vital ingredient to your happiness, you're gonna love the next episode. So keep an eye out for that. You guys keep smiling, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.